You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome everybody into Sim Racing Media tonight. Saturday night is the right time here for the ECR NextGen League to take on Bristol Motor Speedway for the Rapid Fire Pizza 250. Last week, though, they were at the Super Speedway of Talladega where they put on a show. Andrew Chapman was able to get the victory with Tristan Bailey pushing him all the way there. Jonathan Cogswell rounded out the top three. But from there, we go short track racing. They've only been here one time before, so we'll see how they turn out this time. A little movement in the points as Tristan Bailey, Dwayne Furtick, and John Osborne are the top three once again. But Mike Damoni up in the booth getting ready to bring you all the action, and Shane is back with me here tonight. Shane, man, how's it going?
It's going great. I'm excited to be back here with you on Saturday night. Couldn't make it last week. I was doing an adventure race in my own life, but super excited to be back here at Bristol, the last great Coliseum. Always a great race to watch. Should be action-packed.
Yeah, it definitely should. This is going to be their second week of the Eliminator. Let me go ahead and bring that up here. So last week, first in the points was John Osborne, and he had a off week. He was he really just wanted to forget Talladega and move on. So he was eliminated. So where you're standing in the points does not matter. Right now we have Dwayne Furtick, Tristan Bailey, Tyler Burton, Colin Bollinger, Adam Boughton, Kane Lee, Brad Rivers, Anthony Ludi, Ryan McCall, Aaron Miller, and Doug Denise are going to be the 11 drivers taking part this week. Remember, you only have to beat one of the drivers to move on to next week and get those bonus points at the end of this Eliminator.
I love seeing mid-season tournaments. It really adds some spice here in the middle of the regular season. Excited to see how that kind of ramps up the anxiety on some of these drivers, knowing they need to stay ahead of at least one other person on this list as we come down to the end of the race.
Yeah, I mean, and it's interesting because they take the top 12 drivers in points and then just eliminate one. It's not a bracket where you have, one-on-one or what have you. It's just the last person in there, and then after that, you get 6 chase points if you win it. So that gives you a little boost heading into the playoffs there to try and get you in a better spot. So definitely something to look forward to. They're getting close to wrapping up qualifying. Looks like we have about a minute left here in the session right now. Colin Bollinger is going to be sitting on the pole. Has that 53 Toyota ready to roll here at Bristol.
Yeah, that challenge reminds me of the old saying, when you're getting chased by a bear, you don't have to outrun the bear, you just have to outrun your friend.
Yeah, definitely. I tell my kids that all the time when we're hiking up in the woods. But they were here last season. Looks like it was the first time they were here. Travis Gilbert brought home the win, but they did 300 laps around this race course, and they had one caution, but they had 8 lead changes. So there was a ton of good racing going on, and I look forward and expect that to happen here tonight as well, as these guys just get ready to hit the grid. We're going to switch over to nighttime as they are qualifying here around the noon hour in the sim. Here we go, headed to the night. We are set for 250 laps. Fuel run, I'm going to say this is going to be somewhere around 90 to 100 laps, give or take. We'll see how these guys elect to manage that. Because it is a 250-lap race, pit strategy probably will come into play at some point during the race.
Yeah, that's when you can get such a long run here. This can jump up and bite you if you're not paying attention. You can get a little lackadaisical about thinking about fuel because it's such a big tank kind of compared to the race. I know that's happened to me in the past, so these guys will have to keep their eye on the calculator and then kind of get a feel for how many cautions are there going to be, because if there aren't many early on, you might need to be a little more conservative with when you pit, because a green flag pit stop here at Bristol can really hurt you compared to one under caution. Yeah,
it definitely can. Especially the way this session is configured. I believe it's the single pit road, if I'm not mistaken. So that means you have to drive all the way around the track on pit road speed, so that's going to cost you a ton of time. But now we're looking at Colin Bollinger on the pole. Aaron Miller just to his outside. Aaron Miller's had a couple races where he started in the front row, but they have not, he has not been able to capitalize on that as of yet. Tristan Bailey going to roll off in row 2 with Dwayne Furtick. Stan Carnathan and Justin Hendry back there in row 3. Row 4, Jonathan Cogswell and Adam Boughton. Got Doug Denise and John Osborne in row number 5. Row 6, Sam Batwell and Kyle Diaz. We've got Kane Lee and Andrew Chapman. Christopher Roth and Pete Walsh. Anthony Ludi and Michael Carter make up row number 9. Row 10, Tyler Burden and Aaron Spear. Kent Mueller and Gary Nash are going to start shotgun on the field here. So we'll see what they can do to work their way through the traffic. But right now, lights are out on that pace car, and we're going to get set for the start of the race here.
See a couple of those rapid fire paint schemes near the front as we get started for the rapid fire pizza 250.
I mean, they're already sponsoring the caution flag, so they might as well sponsor the race that usually tends to have more cautions than any place else.
A little extra cheese on the sponsorship pizza tonight.
Pace car dives down pit lane. Colin Bollinger with the button as they hit that Geico restart zone. Green flag is out, and we are down and away here in the Rapid Fire Pizza 250 from Bristol. Oh, Aaron Miller hard into the wall.
Yeah, nobody even taking the first lap to catch their breath. They are side by side through the field and giving it to one another.
Yeah, Tristan Bailey able to make up a little bit of ground on that bottom side there as Dan Carnathan, Dwayne Furtick kind of go back and forth. Single filed out for the most part. John Osborne running that high line. Made a pass there on Adam Boughton.
Good to see John in tonight's race. Earlier tonight, he posted in the Discord that his power was out, so it looks like they got it back on for him.
It's definitely a different paint scheme from John. They're used to seeing those red, white, and blue colors. Caution is out already as Aaron Spear brings out the caution. I have to see what happened to Aaron here. Oh, was not clear. Ooh, so back up the track too.
Is that Michael Carter he made contact with? Came through there like a blur.
Look here and see. At the 62 of Christopher Roth. Goes off the nose, goes down, barely misses that inside wall. Gets it back up, and yeah, it looks like that is. Oh, that's the third.
The 8, I think.
18. No. $38.
I think it was the 88.
Just in front there.
Ooh. Cam Mueller avoiding it narrowly. Yeah, I think that was
Gary
Nash.
There you go.
Yeah. Has the 38, the 96, and the 88. So Lee, Spear, and Nash all had extended stops on pit road. Aaron Spear still in there, as is Nash now.
Getting stacked back up here. Bollinger, Bailey, Miller. Pace car is in, green flag's out, and we're back racing. Bollinger wasted no time, hit the start of that restart zone, and he was down and away like he was shot out of a rifle.
Yeah, I mean, at every track, it's an advantage to not be too wide where you can use all the track. But here, especially at Bristol, it lets you be fast and save the tires at the same time. Oh, no.
Under caution once again.
It's Adam Boughton in the 94.
Oh.
And that's our second crash of the night where someone just, looks clear in your mirror maybe, and then at the last second, somebody's inside your bumper and it's too late to avoid it at that point. Kane Lee in the 38 picking up a little damage there at the end too.
Just a little not clear.
Not a ton of give and take here early on this race here at Bristol. Already with our second rapid fire pizza yellow flag of the race.
Could be a They are going to double file. I know some leagues single file if you don't get that one lap completed.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier it is a night race, but the sun hasn't gone all the way down yet, so this track might change a little from now to the finish.
Pace car is in. Green flag racing here as Bollinger gets another healthy jump out to the lead.
Tristan Bailey not going to let him get away so fast.
I'm going to try and stay right with him. Like Hendry had a little gotcha moment there as he was a little loose coming down the backstretch. Making that pass on the outside of Aaron Miller. He has got a run. He might be carrying a little too much speed into the corner, but he is able to make it work right to the rear bumper of Stan Carnathan.
Yeah, Yeah, gave him a little bump too. Sometimes you get a run that's so good you just can't force yourself to lift even when another car is there, and he's going to dive under and take that position too.
He's definitely found something, as he is one of the fastest drivers out on track. Cogswell also making some passes as he goes by Stan Carnathan. Hendry just went a 14:35. It's getting a little dicey here mid-pack. Kyle Diaz, Michael Carter, Sam Batwell.
Even with just 22 cars on the track like we have tonight, there is no space to, kind of drive by yourself and get comfortable. You're always looking at somebody and driving next to somebody at this track.
Yeah, Kyle Diaz finally making a move on the high side of Sam Batwell, going to try and get some space between him. Tyler Burton goes up to the wall, tries to make a pass there. Michael Carter just can't quite do it, has to give back the position and still running that high line, but they are side by side back here in the middle.
Yeah, in my experience in this next-gen car here at Bristol, the Highline usually feels fastest. You can be aggressive. It feels like you can complete a pass a little bit easier. But on a long run, a long green flag run anyway, that bottom can really save your right front tire if you're patient with it, and it can pay off at the end of the run.
Yeah, you got it. It's one of those tracks where you kind of want to be patient, but at the same time, you kind of have to take your passes when they come to you. You can't just sit back and, wait.
Yeah, and it's a whole other story if you're at the tail end of the field and you can see that leader coming in your mirror. You definitely do not want to lose a lap if you can afford it, because there'll be so many cars one lap down. That lucky dog will be elusive and hard to get.
Yeah, back up to the front now.
See Bollinger using that low line. Bailey and Hendry both up high.
Looks like Bollinger is trying to
swap
move
up a little bit.
It looks like Bollinger is trying to find a spot where he can be a little bit quicker than Bailey there. I don't know if he just disrupted Bailey's line just enough, but Bailey's fallen back a little bit. Now Justin Hendry is starting to close in on Bailey. They got about a second and a half back to fourth place with Aaron Miller.
Yeah, that 85 car of Hendry looking great tonight. A lot of speed, keeping up with our leaders.
Check in with this mid-pack battle here. Tyler Burden, our biggest mover, up 7 spots, running P12. Got Christopher Roth and Doug Denise side by side. The scoring, it looks like Andrew Chapman has called it a night, as well as Aaron Spear and Gary Nash. They all elected to put it on the hauler.
Riding along here with Christopher Roth, staring at the bumper of Tyler Burden. You can really hear how much throttle you have to feather on the exit of the corners here. If you commit to it too early, you go right into the wall on exit, and usually Bristol's wall is pretty unforgiving. Not that loving and nurturing wall of Darlington for sure.
You can just see the different lines that everybody has to take trying to get around the track.
Now almost 50 laps into this race. I think this is where the tires, really do start to change on you. If you've been too aggressive trying to make passes early, now they can start to burn you.
Yeah, I think we're going to start to see some drivers who maybe use their tires a little bit too much start to fall backwards here as Michael Carter is trying to get by Sam Batwell. Tyler Burden also trying to make a move here.
Batwell looks like he's carrying a little damage there on the front end. I'm not sure if that's slowing him down or not, but it sure looks caved in to me.
Oh, definitely. Definitely has some damage there.
Oh, a little contact there between the 40 and 62. It's Doug Denise and Christopher Roth. No harm, no foul, just a little old-fashioned door banging. They both tried to find their way around Boutwell. Roth going to get clear. Denise looking low.
This is definitely where the action is here. Just outside that top 10. Ooh, Boutwell catches the wall.
He's been flirting with it the last few laps, trying to carry as much speed as he can and defend on the high side. Ooh, a little contact there from Anthony Ludi.
Yeah. Anthony Ludi was following him through a couple times.
Saw some smoke up in front of him.
Oh, sideways. Christopher Roth.
Big contact, no caution.
Roth will bring it down pit lane. Definitely not what you wanted to see there.
Yeah, fortunate for everyone else, the green flag stays out, but, double unfortunate for Roth. Caution at least gives you a chance to try and get some repairs made.
Well, the tail end of the field is not appreciative either, as they both just went a lap down. Batwell and Mueller and Walsh all a lap down now. I think we can go back and take a look real quick here. Oh, Denise just almost lost the handle there.
Yeah, I don't know. The outside car wasn't as up against the wall as I would have expected, and both of them kind of taking the middle line coming out of the turn, and can't both use it.
Yeah, there's no, you can't be there both of you. Kyle Diaz playing blocker there for Tristan Bailey.
Yeah, our leader is catching these lap cars, and Bailey trying to take advantage of it.
Trying to get by. Got Kyle Diaz on the outside. Denise on the bottom there. Bailey and Bollinger trying to get around them.
Yeah, all four of these drivers are invested in these positions, whether they're going a lap down or battling for the lead. 53 back down low. Not going to make it stick, though.
Definitely not a happy camper on the radio, I would imagine, right now. Well, it looks like Andrew Chapman was able to get back in his car and back on the racetrack.
Just a 10-minute pit stop, ready to roll. These leaders can't get away from each other.
Can't get
Bailey
away from
still out front, but
they can't get away from each other. Now they're right onto the rear of the field and working through that lap traffic. They have three in front of them now.
yeah, and the 25, like you mentioned, just came out of the pits after making repairs, so he's a good example of what a fresh tire's worth. You can see him just kind of casually making his way through this crowd.
Tristan Bailey got loose on the bottom side.
Thought about shooting the middle. Thought better of it for now.
Yeah, Tristan Bailey saw Chapman just make quick work of them, just going down to the bottom side, went to go do it, and now he is stuck down there and can't get by Kane Lee.
Yeah, and Lee is in 12th position, so if they get around him, there's only 11 cars on the lead lap. He's not going to give it up easy. Oh, love tap there.
Yeah, it looks like Bollinger's just trying to push Kane Lee. They stay even with Bailey there, so he can try and at least get back to the lead. Block there from Bollinger.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks like you can't complete a pass down low at this point in the run, even if you do have the speed. I don't think Lee is going to give up that high line either.
No, and I think Colin Bollinger there just decided that he was going to let Kane Lee lead him and just block Bailey, just keep Bailey behind him as much as he can. I mean, I imagine we're going to have somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 laps or so until we have to start thinking about green flag pit stops after the first couple cautions there.
Yeah, that sounds right to me. I mean, the fuel window is so big, depending on how much you can save. Somewhere between 90, 115. It's not a very specific number, but here at Bristol, there are ways to save fuel. I don't expect anyone to be shifting, but you could be if you thought it helped you rotate the car, so that would hurt your fuel mileage a little bit there as 38 tags the wall, and Bailey tries to jump on the opportunity, and he's going to clear him.
It seems to be the only way you can really make some passes here is if you as if the other driver makes a little mistake. Otherwise, you wind up getting stuck behind him. Once he's around, though, he's able to make ground and just start driving away. He's almost got a half second, but that is probably going to go away as Bollinger now has got clear as well. And now Bailey has more lap traffic in front of him. Looks like Pete Walsh in front of him right now.
Pete not putting up the same fight that Kane Lee was.
No, Pete's
And
a few
now-
laps down, though.
I mean, this has got to be the biggest lead between first and second we've seen all night. Jonathan Cogswell, the next car to go a lap down. He's in 10th position.
And then there were 9. Bollinger split in the middle.
Certainly got to be feeling the frustration here as he was right there with Bailey until the lap traffic really getting involved in their battle. No one really, doing anything dirty or causing any dangerous contact, but just frustrating the leaders as they know they have the speed but can't quite get around as fast as they want to. And Bailey now opening up a 1.2 second lead over Bollinger.
Yeah, it's just trying to get around the lap traffic is what the issue is, and they got a little bit of clean air here, clear track in front of them, so you should see who has the faster car. And after those two, third place is almost 8 seconds behind the leader right now.
And that's half a lap here at Bristol. They're running 14 4s, 15s on the older tires.
Aaron Miller coming in, Jonathan Cogswell coming down.
Yeah, I think once you lose a lap, you kind of are in a, not desperate, but you kind of have permission to take a gamble, because if you just let yourself drift back even more and stay, you're already not in the lucky dog position. I think cutting the pit short, that's a good call. Get some fresh tires, see if you can make up the difference, and then the next time the leaders pit, who can't really afford to take that gamble, you should have made up some ground, maybe gotten your lap back as that pit cycle comes through.
Yeah, I mean, you have to do something different, and with the way that it's looking like you're going to need a couple stops anyway, pitting, a few laps early might help you in the long run, if you can catch a caution just right or something like that.
And the tire fall off might not seem like much. At this point in the run, it's a second to a second and a half, depending on the car, but it's a 14-second lap. So if you can get that delta into your lap time, you're going to, make up a whole lap in just probably about 8 or 9 laps.
Yeah, speaking of that, we have a huge group of cars here. You have Jonathan Cogswell, fresh tires, just coming out of the pits, going to drive it down on the bottom, going to try and get all of these guys pretty quickly. Kane Lee floats up, Chapman's up there, Ludi's there as well. But the driver that just went a lap down, one of the guys that was one of the faster cars most of the early part of this race, and that's Justin Hendry. And he's running in P7, but he just went a lap down.
I think we're kind of seeing everything we've been talking about come to fruition. We saw Hendry being really fast early, but doing it with the high line, which, like I said, I think that's the line that uses up the tires more aggressively, especially your right front. And once you get tight at Bristol, every lap it gets worse, and it's one of those things you just can't really come back from, and you're kind of begging for tires.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably one of the drivers I would say come down as soon as you can here, because otherwise you're probably going to lose a little bit more time, especially as now it looks like Boughton gets by him as well. And that gap to second place is over 3 seconds now. Like, you blink and it's already there.
Yeah, you mentioned the ECR has been to Bristol just once before. Travis Gilbert won the race, but Tyler Burden was second. I'm trying to see, where was Bailey in that one? Doesn't look like he was, but he's certainly putting on a show today.
Justin Hendry coming down pit lane. By Pete Walsh again.
Here comes, is that Cogswell with fresh tires?
Yeah, Cogswell with fresh tires is just wrapping that bottom. Cogswell's last time was Cogswell's last lap time was a 15:20, 15:02 that time. Bailey was a 15:64, so.
Yeah, not as big of a difference as we were expecting.
I thought it'd be more than that, but it looks like more than that when you're watching the screen. So, I mean, eyeball test does not lie.
Yeah, I think the lap traffic is hurting these guys on fresh tires the same way it's hurting the leaders. Hard to make use of the tires when you can't use the whole track. As we now have just 6 drivers on the lead lap and just 5 one lap down.
It's definitely a clinic being put on right now. I think Tristan Bailey almost gets that outside wall. Almost very close to that outside wall.
Oh, there he is. We're now at lap 111. I think the number I had written down pre-race was 113. That was my best guess for the fuel window, so I would expect some of these leaders to start coming down soon.
Yeah, I was thinking with the few caution laps.
When they do cycle through, it looks like Aaron Miller in 10th will be the furthest up driver who did the early pit. And we'll see where everybody cycles out compared to where he is. Oh, as it looks like Boutwell just picked up some damage and a meatball flag.
What happened there, but Osborne fighting to stay on the lead lap.
Didn't See, took a look back, didn't see anything out of the ordinary with Boutwell.
Tristan Bailey just put Osborne a lap down, so now we are left with 5 on the lead lap. He's got over a 7-second lead to Tyler Burton. Colin Bollinger has lost a ton of spots. Now he is back in 5th place. He is going to be the next car that Tristan Bailey sees. He's got a couple seconds before Bailey's going to be right on his rear bumper. Take a look, see if we, wow. As Bailey just gets right on the rear bumper there of Kyle Diaz. You go down to the bottom. Let's take a look and see what we can see here with Pete Walsh.
Yeah, I noticed he hit pit road a little aggressively. Went back and took a look. He tries to get down and locks up the tires as a car comes fast on his inside and another on his outside. He's able to get down there just in time.
Definitely a little. Oh, caution is out now.
Oh boy.
Boutwell again.
Well, if you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 100 laps down, that was not what you wanted. You really needed the leaders to cycle all the way through.
Coming down pit lane, but let's take a look here and see what happened with Boutwell earlier.
Ooh, just got loose on his own on exit.
Sideways in the track.
I mean, really lucky for everybody that he's hard on the brakes and just kind of standing still so you can drive around him.
Yeah, that's definitely not what you wanted to see. If you were anybody except for the drivers on the lead lap. Might have a few stay out, take the wave around if they were only 1 lap down, but they made their pit stop.
Like I mentioned, Aaron Miller in the 10, he was the first car to, or he was the highest running car of those early pitters. And he's going to take this wave around. That will put him back on the lead lap in 7th position. He might be the one driver on the track who made use of that early pit strategy, although he is going to be at a little bit of a tire deficit as he rejoins at the tail end of the field from the wave around.
Yeah, I was looking at that too. Justin Hendry stayed out. He took a wave around as well. But he spent over a minute in his pit box. So he is multiple laps down. He's about 5 laps down now. Pace car is in. Bailey with the button. And they threw the caution back on, it looks like.
Pace car just didn't want to leave the fun. Oh, you know what it was? Hendry, I think, had an unsafe pit entry and had to do a stop and hold in his pit stall. There, that's why he had that 55-second stop. I think 40 seconds of that was a penalty. Just didn't quite make the commitment cone line.
Oh, they're stacked back up. Got the whole field now in line. Sort that out a little bit. Let's try this one more time. Pace car makes that turn down pit lane, and Bailey is down and away. Dan Carnathan took that outside lane and made a move.
Yeah, really hanging with them. It's red versus blue in the rapid fire pizza cars here up front.
Looking
Tyler
at
Burden is lurking.
I would say Hayon's Motorsports are just running 1, 2, 3 now.
See if any of these drivers maybe learn something about how to save tires on the long run. Even though they were almost a lap down or a lap down, you still had time to learn how your car drove in traffic and try to figure out a smarter way to save those tires on the long run.
Yeah, I got to figure out something. I mean, you're looking at just under what we just ran, so they have all the information they need to try and figure out where they want to be. Tyler Burton rolling back in to catch Stan Carnathan there.
You know, and here's another thing I just noticed is that when those drivers did eventually make it to pit lane was lap 126, meaning, you know, technically they could make it to the end from here with just a few cautions to save a little fuel. Could be a one-stop race.
Yeah, if they just have a couple more cautions, you know, somebody's probably going to take that chance. But I mean, I don't know that it would really matter with only 7 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah. Burden now up to second.
Carnathan was up there battling for the lead, and now he is back into 4th position here. Have a few lappers mixed in between now.
Justin Hendry up there with the leaders. We mentioned he's a couple laps down, I think 4 or 5 at this point. He might be trying to get one of those back if he can.
Yeah, you got Cogswell up there too. Cogswell came down early, got those 4 fresh tires, and made pretty quick work of the cars that were around him, but he is also, you know, a couple laps down. So he's running right with the lap. 1 lap less down than Hendry there, but they're running almost together. Burden going to go down to the inside, going to try and battle for the lead here with Kristen Bailey.
Here come those two lap cars, 84 and 85. They know Bailey is, saving a little bit because this could be another long run. And this could be their chance to get up in front of him before another yellow comes out.
Cogswell trying to make quick work here of Bailey.
Adam Boughton riding here in the 94. And now we're looking at Kane Lee running 8th.
Well, these guys have kind of single filed out. We're going to take this opportunity to take our commercial break here. Won't miss anything. We'll go side by side, and then the action will bring you right back to it. You won't miss anything for the moment as we are going to go side by side. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Didn't miss anything as we were side by side there. Kristen Bailey still leading, but that gap has kind of stabilized once again as Tyler Burden is right on his rear bumper there.
And just behind them, Dwayne Furtick and Colin Bollinger trying to get in on the party as well.
We know Bollinger is fast. He led most of this race until they started to come up on that lap traffic. And Bailey kind of used him as a little bit of a pick to get by and take the lead. And from there, it's been all Bailey for a while now.
Yeah, Bollinger with 64 laps led. Tristan Bailey with now 106. No one else has led a lap in this race other than those two drivers.
Now he's trying to make his way back to the lead, back to where he wants to be here.
Ooh, tagged the wall just a little bit. And it is really interesting to see how many different lines the same driver will take in just 2 or 3 laps. Hug the yellow line, run up and hit the wall just a little bit, and then kind of split the difference and go in the middle as 53 catching the 9.
And as you say that, it's kind of you kind of see him do it depending on where the other car either behind them or in front of them runs. As you see there, Bollinger goes clear down to the yellow line, going to try and wrap that corner as tight as he can.
Yeah, usually that kind of a you go one way, I'll go the other is more of an intermediate track strategy to keep clean air on the nose. I'm not sure how much clean air makes a difference at Bristol, but hey, if it's 5%, 2%, whatever it is, give me that. That might be what you need to get a pass done.
And as we say that, we're back into lap traffic. Looks like they just got by Cogswell, so maybe Cogswell used up his stuff a little bit there as he was making making some time and got one of his laps back, but they just caught him and put him back another lap down.
Yeah, Cogswell's last lap was a 16 and a half. A second and a half worse than what our leaders are running. So either he burned those tires off or maybe got a little damage somewhere in the field. The 06 of Tyler Burden making his presence known, giving a little bump to Bollinger.
These 3 drivers are just trying to drive away from the field here. Burdick has to deal with Aaron Miller. Miller is on fresher tires. He came down pit lane about 10 laps ago.
I'm not exactly sure why Miller hit pit road there. It didn't seem to fit any of the tire or fuel strategies we've been talking about. And that's got him, what, 2 laps down?
Yeah, almost 3 depending on. Oh, Burton hit that outside wall. Looks like Bollinger's kind of losing a little bit of ground again. I think he might have used up his stuff as Burdick goes to his outside and try and get a run on that 53 machine.
Miller gets up there to get his lap back. And that puts him just 1 lap down. Currently 6 cars on the lead lap with Kane Lee in 7th position, sitting in that lucky dog slot. Our top 5 all within a half second of each other. Just complete opposites of that earlier run where everybody was 6, 7, 8 seconds apart.
Yeah, these leaders are all together. It looks like Burden just lost some ground.
Yeah, entered the corner on the apron too. That's not the way you want to do it.
Our Nathan, 4th place. Like he got up and rubbed the wall a little bit.
Action back here. It's Adam Balton in 7th. He's going to take away that lucky dog position, or is it actually Osborne? No, Osborne's still on the lead lap, so Balton is the lucky dog currently, taking that away from Kane Lee. Bailey continuing to lead, but Furtick not too far behind. Slow and steadily catching up to our leader.
Yeah, running just a little bit different line, trying to close in there. Through here, looks like Kyle Diaz is still on pit lane. Looks like he's been on there for quite a while. Cogswell on pit lane. $50 laps to go, 49 when they come to the line.
Wayne Furtick hanging in there.
Yeah.
Bollinger looks like he got his tires cooled off and he's coming back with another charge.
Yeah, maybe he saw that it was going to be a long green flag run, so he elected to kind of save a little bit and see what he can do at the end of this run. Also looking to see how these guys are going to handle it. If they're going to have to make a pit stop here before the end of the race, when do they elect to come down?
I'm wondering if they've got the same calculators I do and saying, hey, if you're able to save just enough, you don't have to stop again. we've seen a handful of drivers like Cogswell and Miller trying to use alternative strategies to get laps back. They've already come down and stopped, but everybody else came in around that lap 126 caution.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty good timed caution for a lot of the drivers. I mean, it kept quite a few a lap down and allowed these leaders to come in, take their time getting their service there and get back out on the track. But I mean, we were talking earlier, somewhere around 100, 113-ish laps is probably what it would be on a green flag run. We did have a caution, I believe, in there as well, so it'll be close.
And Tyler Burden just went a lap down. And he was in second place there on that restart for a while.
I don't know. He might have used up too much of his stuff trying to hang with these leaders. He was the biggest mover of the race. He still is up 13 spots, running a heck of a race. It looks like Cogswell's trying to come back on the bottom side here in that 84 machine. It looks like nobody's really going to have to worry about this Eliminator challenge if I'm looking through right. Looks like Bradley Rivers wasn't able to make the race, so he's going to be eliminated here from that Eliminator challenge. Ryan McCall's also not here.
Ooh, seems like one of those situations where you might not have even thought to write a rule on how to do that one.
Oh, they did, actually. In the case of 2 or more qualified drivers calling a provisional of the same race, in that case, there will be no elimination for that race in the tournament, aka a safe week. The following week's race would then be a double elimination. So next week might not be so fun. And it's a road course.
That's right.
Five cars on the lead lap, and it looks like, yeah, Tyler Burton just got passed there by Adam Boughton as he was trying to make his way around the track here, trying to keep that lucky dog position, and he'll do that for the moment. But Osborne is about a second and a half in front of this battle here with Tristan Bailey. Something is definitely not right with Tyler Burton there. See what happens. Take a look and see maybe what happened here with Tyler Burton. So let us go back that way. Oh, Pete Walsh. That's Wayne Furtick gets by. That caused a little bit of an issue there. Tyler Burton went nosed into the wall. I think he's going to have to get that damage fixed in. Don't know if he'll have enough time to do that as we are running through the laps. He is running P10, so a top 10 finish might be in the cards here. He's got Doug Denise starting to close in on him as well. It looks like Bailey's going to put basically all of the field 2 laps down as he goes by Adam Boughton there. Osborne up on the wall. Dan Carnathan goes back to 5th. Ooh, Carnathan into the wall again as well. Burdick, and then we have Bollinger trying to make his way through lap traffic. Kristen Bailey is driving away from the field. 16 laps to go, 15 when he comes to the line. Kristen Bailey almost out to a 4-second lead as Bollinger can't get around these lap cars. And Batwell looks like he's got some fresh tires. Going to try and go to the inside. Gets loose, goes around. Keeps it going in the right direction, so we stay green, but he was all over the track there with those fresh tires. Came down on lap 210, trying to make his way around the track. Just got a little loose there coming off of turn number 2 down the backstretch. Burton just letting them go on the high side. Four cars left on the lead lap as Stan Carnathan goes a lap down.
And John Osborne running 4th. I mean, he
caution.
hasn't really been... Oh.
What,
just going to say, Osborne hasn't necessarily been up there fighting for the lead, but he is having a really solid night running 4th, staying on the lead lap while so many drivers haven't been able to do that.
Oh, Miller caught the wall and Walsh went to go down and Denise was coming up.
Yeah, sometimes when you see the guy in front of you smack the wall, you try to predict where he's going to be when he spins out, and then he collects it back up, and you're still, making aggressive moves you maybe don't need to. But evasive action is kind of the gut instinct of a race car driver. With all those green flag laps, everybody should have a nice set of 4 fresh tires to throw on here at the end.
Bailey, Bollinger, Burdick, like Carnathan. Now Carnathan got the lucky dog, so he's gonna come in and get his service this time by.
And depending on how quick we get back to action here, this could be a green-white checker. If not, it's going to be close.
Yeah, it's still gonna be a few lap shootout here. I think everybody's going to try and take a wave around that was up front. Pace car is in. Bailey with the button, and we're down and away. Bailey, Bollinger going to finish it out here at Bristol.
Ooh. Yeah, a couple of these cars up front are actually laps down. The top 5 on the track is not the top 5 in running order because of all the wave rounds and things like that. Bailey looking low on Bollinger. Oh, they're in the wall.
The Bollinger and Bailey into the wall. Bollinger gets the run off. White flag is out in the air.
Didn't have any space. The 53 is coming back to the checkered flag. What a run. Fighting off Tristan Bailey. And that last lap was Bollinger's fastest of the race, a 14.2 to bring home the victory. All that, multiple 100-lap green flag runs, and the whole thing gets decided with a 4-lap race to the finish between the two drivers that were leading all day long, Bollinger and Bailey. He was slapping the wall with his burnout, too. Quite the finish. Like I said, they both came off the turn. No one willing to lift there with about 2 laps to go. They get into the wall. Bailey sideways on the 53's nose there for a few seconds. They both lean on each other to get back straight and just keep it going. What a finish.
Definitely was beating and banging and short track racing there. Oh.
Looks like 53 going to take it all the way to victory lane if he can get there. Up the ramp. Looks like he's done this before.
Definitely has, it looks like. See if we can get Dwayne up here in the booth for you.
Number 51, Dwayne Furter. You got Shane and Mike in the booth. How you doing?
Pretty good, guys.
Yeah, I mean, what a race. It was such a mixture of these 120 lap green flag runs followed up by, a 4 or 5 lap race there at the finish to end it out. Tell us about your night.
That was a pretty good night. Managed to stay out of trouble. Pretty solid effort. The car got pretty tight. It was pretty difficult to keep the right front on it, but came away with a solid finish.
Yeah, congrats on the podium. We saw people using high line, low line, mixing it up. What was kind of the secret sauce there? Was one line saving tires? Was one line faster earlier in the run? Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, lap traffic dictated which line, we had to run, but really didn't have a preference. Just the fastest way around the track, to be honest. The whole focus was just keeping the tires on it, but having to slice and dice between the high groove and the low groove, bobbing and weaving. It was pretty fun though. I really did enjoy it.
Yeah, we had a blast watching up here in the booth. Fun watching you slice through the field, like you said. Congratulations again on the podium finish. And who you got to thank for tonight's performance?
Thank my awesome teammates, Southern Alliance Racing. South, he's just a fantastic owner. Very grateful to race for the team and grateful for the great finish tonight.
All right. Well, thanks for chatting with us up in the booth. We'll let you get back to your Saturday night and see you next week.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
You too.
All right. Well, as our second place finisher had to jump off as fast as possible, we'll see if we can bring Stan Carnathan in the booth here. Hey, Stan, Mike up in the booth, man. How's it going?
Hey, Mike, how are you, man?
Oh, not too bad. Well, that was a heck of a run there. Looked like you were you kind of had your hands full for a little while there. How was it racing here at Bristol?
Yeah, I mean, Bristol's always tight. You're dealing with traffic and then cautions and timely cautions and untimely cautions and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, we were had a couple cautions early. We were going to be able to make it on one stop, so that's what the plan was. In the last 30 laps of that run, we definitely were one of the faster cars on the track. So I would have liked to have seen what would have happened if we could have gone green in that second half or last stint, and had I not pounded the wall enough that the steering kind of didn't work very well anymore. So, but good run overall. Tristan there finishing second. His daughter's throwing up, and Tyler had a good run until lap cars just sometimes find their way in the middle of stuff. But yeah, good run.
Yeah, it definitely was. Who do you have to thank for your fourth place finish before we get you out of here tonight?
The right front tire.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats on your fourth place finish, and we'll see what you can do next week on the road course.
All right, guys. I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right. Get Colin up here in the booth for you.
Colin, you got Shane and Mike up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right. I've got so many questions for you. I don't even know where to start. Let's start with maybe something you don't know that I do, which is that your last lap of the race was your fastest lap and the fastest of the whole night to bring home the checkered flag. Tell us about your night. We had long green flag runs, a quick finish there at the end on fresh tires. What was the key to tonight's win?
I mean, honestly, it's a win in the book, but I do feel bad for Tristan. I mean, he had that race wrapped up, but no, I mean, on the long run, early I just ran way too hard and lost all my track position. I think I got kind of pushed off the track by a lap car on fresh tires, which it is what it is. We just rebounded. I mean, at that point, I wasn't too happy, but I looked at the leaderboard after the caution. There's 5 guys on the lead lap, so I mean, it was just a goal to not go a lap down. Which, funny enough, as the caution came out, Tristan was right behind me, ready to lap me. But no, the second run, I just wanted to make sure I actually just stayed on the bottom and really just didn't wear my stuff out. It still didn't even work. I mean, Tristan pulled away from us. He was just so much better saving those tires. But then on the last pit stop going in, I was hoping I would have been close to him because I took 2 tires there. So yeah, we took 2, got on his outside, and I got a good jump with him. And funny enough, like the left side tires, since they were already scuffed in pretty good, I was able to drive right down on his quarter pound panel going in the one and stay with him out 2 and pretty much drag him. So it was a crazy race. I mean, I feel bad for him, but when the caution comes out like that and gives us another chance, I'm not gonna not take it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then in those closing laps, you guys came off of a turn exit. Nobody lifted. You're squeezed in the wall. He's coming across your nose sideways, and somehow you guys lean on each other just enough to get straight and keep it going. How did that feel from your seat?
Oh, I mean, it was crazy. I knew, I heard him gas up early, so I'm like, oh, I think he's gonna drive into us, and he did, and it nothing on purpose. We were racing hard, and I knew he shoved me in the fence. I'm like, I'm just gonna try to keep it off of him, and hopefully we go into the next corner, we let off, like pull off, and eventually we did, and then it gave me the he got a bad entry in, and I think I pulled him off exit, and after that point, I was like, I don't know if he's mad or not, so I just tried to run as fast as I could those last 2 laps to pull away, and that's where that fastest lap came from.
Yeah, well, it was really fun to watch. It sounds like you had a lot of fun out there on the track tonight. Congratulations on the win. I think that's your 3rd of the season, carrying a lot of momentum here. And who you got to thank for tonight's performance?
I mean, Sean Walton, he was spotting me tonight, and he did a great job. He really, even in the moments where I was getting pretty upset with myself, he was, kind of there to calm me down. And I mean, other than that, I mean, just him, Team Delusional, that's the team I raced with, and Daniel Smith, he makes all the schemes I run, which I've kind of only been running this one recently, but yeah, those guys, I mean, those guys make us look good, which I guess is keeping us going quick. So, just that's about it.
Awesome. One more question for you. How did you get directions to the victory lane? Because we
Oh,
saw
I
you
mean,
drive up there. It looked like you'd done it before.
no, funny enough, my buddy told me, the spotter told me in the chat that you can go up there. So I was like driving around. I was like, where do I go in? And he told me the backside, the second pit road. So I drove it in there and just found it. And yeah, we parked it. Hopefully, you guys got a good angle for the end of the broadcast.
Oh, yeah, we're staring at it right now. It looks great. Congratulations again on the win, and enjoy your Saturday night. We'll see you next week.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
So that will do it for the interview portion. Let's go ahead and go through the rundown real fast here. Colin Bollinger, Tristan Bailey, Dwayne Furtick, and Stan Carnathan are that top 4. John Osborne finished as the last car on the lead lap in P5. Adam Boughton, Anthony Ludi, Aaron Miller, Kane Lee, and Tyler Burden the top 10. Doug Denise, Kent Mueller, Jonathan Cogswell, Pete Walsh, and Sam Batwell round out that top 15. Christopher Roth, Justin Hendry, Kyle Diaz, the top 18. 19th is Michael Carter, Andrew Chapman, Aaron Spear, and Gary Nash round out the field here that took part in the Bristol Showdown. But we will head to the road course next week. It'll be something a little bit different as these guys look to go right and left.
The Red Bull Ring.
Yeah. Have not had the pleasure of broadcasting or looking at that, so that'll be a treat for us next week. But anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No, I think this was, it was everything we expected. Maybe not as many cautions as I would have guessed, but the Rapid Fire Pizza 250 did not let us down with, door banging side by side with the leaders. And then in the end, just a couple laps to the finish, fresh tires. And I didn't even realize that Bollinger took 2 tires on that last stop, and that's what helped him hook the bottom and get the victory. Just an awesome race.
Yeah, it definitely was. But with that being said, we're going to put Bristol in the rearview mirror from all the drivers of the ECR Next Gen League and all of us here at Sim Racing Media. I want to wish you guys a good night, and we'll see you next week.